Well, guys, some news breaking from Rangers in this last hour. Yes, we now officially have a new Chief Executive Officer. That news has been broken by the club. It was tweeted out on the club's official X account. It's also on the club's website. That is that we can today announce that Jim Gillespie will become the club's new Chief Executive Officer. Jim will be an integral part of the club's executive team, responsible for leading the organisation, management and all operations in support of the club's football ambitions and pursuit of silverware. If you remember, Jim Gillespie was the guy who was from St Mirren and also involved with the children's charity as well. Gillespie obviously had previously turned down the CEO role at Rangers a year and a half ago, but it's thought that now that Rangers have a new set of owners and a new ownership model and new owners with a new vision for the club, that Gillespie is willing to sign on to be part of that executive group with running the football club. I think this says more about the previous owners than it does about Jim Gillespie as a person, that perhaps he spoke to the previous owners, was not impressed with the way that the Parks and others were handling things and did not want to be associated with the club at that point in time. Very much in a similar way that Walter Smith advised Derek McInnes against taking the Rangers job at that point in time in his career when he was offered it. But I know there will be some Rangers fans out there that will be saying, well, he's turned us down once, we don't want him back. Well, unfortunately, guys, he is back, and I think it is a very good appointment. Like I said, he will be part, as I said on the message on the X account, he'll be part of the club's official executive group designed to bring back the good times to Ibrox. It is also thought to be a huge blow to St Mirren as well. Obviously, they won the League Cup this year, have done very well under existing boss Stephen Robinson, and seems to be a club heading in the right direction. Jim brings obviously significant senior leadership experience, the website says. Chief Executive Officer of Kibble, one of the one of Scotland's leading social care charities, delivering complex regulated services for vulnerable children and young people, managing a staff of over 1,000 people. He's also been on the board of directors at St Mirren since 2000 and became their vice chairman in 2021. He's also been responsible as well for the sporting success St Mirren have had in that limited time, obviously backing the club, finding ways to fund the club and finding ways to bring in players, and have strengthened the club's financial standing. That is no doubt something that will have attracted the owners. He said that the Rangers continue to say that the strategic direction of the club, however, will continue to be set by Andrew Kavanagh and Parag Marathe. Fraser Thornton will continue to serve as acting CEO for the moment, as Jim Gillespie obviously has a notice period to work with the children's charity, and will not be available to start work until later in the season, but will still have a advisory role at Rangers in that meantime. Andrew Kavanagh has said this in response, obviously in light of this appointment. He has said, "We spoke to an exceptional range of candidates across Scotland and Europe, and Jim consistently stood out for his understanding of what Rangers stands for and the standards this club demands. He impressed us with his ability to lead people, connect with the club and its supporters, and operate at a very high level day to day. Jim is a proven leader, and we are confident he will be an outstanding chief executive for Rangers." Parag Marathe then added this: "Jim brings leadership, judgment and operational capability, what we are looking for at this stage of the club's journey. The club has already had a strong aligned leadership group, and Jim is joining it as an important addition. We are delighted to welcome Jim and look forward to working closely with him as we move Rangers forward together." So it's interesting that both Kavanagh and Marathe outline the fact that his leadership is strong, which is something the club need, and also the fact that he understands and gets Rangers. I think that is a big thing that obviously let Patrick Stewart down, who quite clearly did not understand the club, did not understand the expectations at the club, and was very, very keen to throw the fans and the club under the bus at the first possible opportunity. Jim Gillespie, on his appointment, stated this. He said, "Rangers Football Club is a historic institution and it is an honour for me to be asked to contribute to its leadership. I'm thankful to the owners and to the board for their confidence, and I look forward to working closely with them and the staff and all those associated with Rangers. Focus is now on delivering, rolling up our sleeves, setting clear standards and ensuring the organisation is aligned behind a sustainable success on the pitch." Obviously, one of the first things Jim Gillespie will have to do as part of this chief executive role is take part in the appointment of a new sporting director, new technical director. Obviously, Kevin Thelwell was also sacked at the same time that Patrick Stewart was removed from his role at the club. And it's felt that the Rangers were very much waiting for the appointment of the CEO for then go on and appoint the sporting director. You know, Jim Gillespie certainly has a very good record as at St Mirren. And I think one of the reassuring things for me in this appointment is this is a person who quite clearly understands Scottish football, who understands what it is to be part of Scottish football. He will understand the league. He will understand, obviously, the rivalry, the situation with the rivalry towards Rangers from many clubs, and also the way that Rangers are regarded by many clubs as well. So I think, you know, this is quite clearly a positive move by Rangers Football Club to bring someone in who is a guy who understands Scottish football. The danger was always going to be that if you brought someone in, somebody from Spain or Germany or even England, as we saw with Patrick Stewart, they don't understand straight away the nature of the Scottish game. They don't understand the demands on Rangers as a football club. They don't understand the supporter base. They don't understand, you know, what it is to be part of our football club, what standards are expected, what behaviours are expected. And I honestly believe that this is someone who does get that now and who does understand that, and obviously will bring that expertise to the club, and will have contacts in the Scottish game and contacts within Scottish clubs as well. So I think again it's a very positive move by Rangers. Look, yes, he isn't a Rangers man. Obviously, I don't know who he supported as a kid or who he supports. I mean, he might have been a Rangers fan. I don't know. I haven't looked into it yet. But it is good news, I believe, that this guy is now part of the setup at Rangers. I really hope that Rangers can now go on and appoint a very successful sporting director, technical director, director of football, whatever you wish to call them. Look, you know, I think one of the big positives for me is there seems to have been a real realisation that the start of this era under the 49ers and under Andrew Kavanagh was a complete and utter cock-up. I think that's fair to say, with Russell Martin, Kevin Thelwell, and of course Patrick Stewart been involved. It's quite clear now that the board, the owners have a clear direction. That the owners and the board understand they got it wrong. They understand what is expected of them, and they know that they've got to get this right. I think, you know, it goes as well with the fact that we now seem to have a clear transfer strategy, that Danny Rule is having a bigger influence over that, and I think he will continue to do so. It's all much more positive going forward for the club, and I think all we need realistically now is to continue this forward motion, to put people into place who understand how to run a 21st century modern European football club, which I think we have now with Kavanagh, Marathe, Gillespie, Thornton, and whoever is appointed as the sporting director, along obviously with head coach Danny Rule. Guys, I'd love to know your thoughts on this appointment. It is looking a lot more positive now, and it's nice to be actually making videos where we actually look optimistically on the future of Rangers, and we're not constantly condemning and calling out people at the club for their ineptitude, their failures, and their negligence. Thank you for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation, guys. If you've enjoyed the content, please like, comment, share, and of course, subscribe to the channel.